Assalamu alaikum students, good day audience. So welcome back to the channel. Your instructor Abdul Rafi here for accounting and mathematics. So today let's have an overview discussion on the accounting for the Cambridge IGCSE and the O levels. First thing students need to understand, both of them have the same syllabus and same paper pattern. Okay, so we have 7707 and 0452. This video is important. This can be helpful for all the students going to appear for the examination in the next year, or those who are starting the accounting subject for the first time and have no information about it. So you can understand the paper pattern, and also we'll have a discussion on the syllabus content as well. Okay students, so let's get started. First important thing is very simple. The paper pattern is, as you can see, we will have basically two papers. Okay, so there is paper 1, which is basically MCQ students, that is multiple choice questions. Students need to understand the weightage for this is 30%. Okay, paper 1 will be MCQs in accounting for Cambridge. It is 30% weightage. The marks, number of marks are 35 marks, sir. So you will be tested on 35 MCQs for 35 marks. Some are easy level, some are medium level, some are difficulty level, hard questions. 35 marks, and what we need to understand that we are given 1 hour 15 minutes for this, or you can say 75 minutes in total to solve this paper as well. Hope students got this. These are all the important things. Paper 1 is MCQ, multiple choice questions, 30% weightage of overall grade, 35 marks, and the time that you have is 75 minutes, which is 1 hour 15 minutes as well. Students need to know that all topics are tested. Okay, that all the whole syllabus will be tested, all topics MCQs will be tested. Next we talk about paper 2, sir. Paper 2 discussion, definitely paper 2 is 70% weightage, and it is more structured paper. Okay, so paper 2 is the structured written paper, in which you can say that it's 100 marks paper, students, 100 marks paper, and it's a 70% weightage, 100 marks. There are 5 questions, each of 20 marks. Okay students, so that's the split in this. 5 questions are there, each of 20 marks, and we can say in the MCQs 1 question is 1 mark, so that therefore it will be 35 MCQs. Okay students, but for paper 2 आपको 5 questions test किए जाएंगे, each of them will be for 20 marks, total makes it 200 marks. 70% is the weightage. Definitely each question have parts as well, like A, B, C and D, and then you need to understand for this paper you have 1 hour 45 minutes, which is 1 hour 45 minutes you have, which is 105 minutes in total. Okay, so either 1 hour 45 minutes you can say, or you have 105 minutes. That is basically paper 1 and paper 2 structure. The whole syllabus is tested. Now if we talk further, students, if you got this, you need to understand that the syllabus is divided into the 7 sections. Okay, the syllabus is divided into 7 sections, sir. So what are those sections? Let's have a discussion on the syllabus content now. If we talk about the first section, number 1, section number 1 is the basic, that is that students study in grade 9 or grade 10, or from the starting of the point is basically on the fundamentals of accounting, where you must know about the accounting equation. Okay, you must know about accounting equation, the definitions and key terminologies. Okay, so there comes the definition, what is the purpose of accounting, bookkeeping. Okay, so it's the basics of accounting which comes in this chapter, that is the definitions of assets, liabilities, equity, capital, we can say expenses and revenue. So the first section is very simple, very small, and is very easy as well. Section number 2 also is the, we can say, the prerequisite of accounting to learn. In section number 2 we learn how to do the double entry. Okay, so we can say that in section number 2, which is called sources and recording of data, you need to know how to do the double entry. Okay students, so we need to know about double entry, bookkeeping. Okay, how do we make the ledger accounts. Okay, how ledger accounts are made. Okay, that is what we need to know. What is the accounting cycle change, like from the source documents, books of prime entries. So you must know about books of prime entries in this section number 2. Books of prime entries, how to prepare them, and how to record them. Secondly, you must know about the business documents as well. Okay, in this section you need to know about business documents. So students need to understand कि आप लोग को knowledge पे test होगा, theory पे test होगा, and let's say कि you have to make as well. Numerics can also be tested in this section, such as कि आपने purchase journal बनाना है, cash book बनानी है, petty cash book बनानी है. So that is what we need to understand, that we have business documents, book of prime entries as well. Business documents only need to know the theory and the conceptual and understanding of them. So these are the main sections or main headings in the sources and recording of data, which is section number 2. If we move on, section number 3 talks about the verification of the accounting records. This is the main content that we start from here. If we talk about verification for accounting records, the most common topic and this is basically the trial balance. You must know about what is benefits and everything related to trial balance you need to know, students. If we talk about further, you must know about errors and correction of the errors. Okay, in this section you learn about errors and correcting of the errors, which errors affect the trial balance, which errors do not affect trial balance. You must know about bank reconciliation here. Verification means that it's basically about accuracy, arithmetical check and balance. Okay, what measures can be used to make sure that you are doing the right way and there are no mistakes or no errors or fraud. So bank reconciliation also comes in this heading. And then you also have the control accounts as well in this section number 3, which is basically format based, and learning is there, that these are all part of double entry. It's about section number 3, verification of the accounting records. So these 4 topics you have to study in this section number 3, verification of accounting records. Okay, so there will be complete questions on them. There will be parts as well tested, their theory you need to know, students. Moving forward, we have to talk about accounting procedures. Okay, section number 4 and 5. Section number 4, 5 are the most valuable, most important sections as well, although every section is important, but I believe that we can say that section number 4 and 5 have a lot of more content. Okay, we can say like this, 4 and 5 have a lot of more content. So if you write it down, we can say that we have, sir, what topics are there in this. So let's do it in a different way this time. So in the accounting procedures, you will have, sir, let's call it that in accounting procedure, you have one of the pointers is basically capital and revenue expenditure. You must know about capital and the revenue expenditure and the receipts. Okay, so this they test in MCQs as well, and they test in the paper 2 theory questions as well. So capital and revenue expenditure and the receipts of that. Okay, sir. Next, in this section, you must know the main topic that a lot of students struggle, which is basically depreciation. Okay, so the second topic in this accounting procedures is depreciation. Very important, and a lot of questions are tested on this. Next, we have in the O-level accounting 7707 or IGCSE accounting 0452, we can say we must know about accruals and prepayments, also called other payables and receivables. Okay, students, so you must know about other payables and receivables. Very important, this section as well. Okay, you must know how to make the T accounts for the expenses like insurance, rent, and these things, students. Okay, so this is 3 topics in this. Then we also have further on, we have, sir, let's call it here, further on we have irrecoverable debts topic and the provision for doubtful debts. Okay, so we have, sir, irrecoverable debts topic, and this is basically the whole syllabus in an overview. I'm telling you, okay, the whole syllabus in an overview. Irrecoverable debts and provision for the doubtful debts is also part of this point here for section number 4, accounting procedures, that we have provision for doubtful debts and irrecoverable debts in this. And then the last one is basically recently added in the syllabus from 2020 onwards, that students need to know, is about the valuation of the inventory. Okay, that how do you value inventory which is lower of cost, and there can be a complete question on that, or there can be an adjustment on that. And you can expect, students, that there can be an MCQ on that, that how do you value inventory if your closing opening inventory are understated or overstated, how do you have to do the dealing for them. So this is section number 4. Also have a discussion that there are 5 chapters on section number 4, just like there are 4 chapters in section number 3. Next we talk about is basically section number 5, which is the most important and the most tricky as well, we can say, where students find it difficult, is about the preparation of financial statements. In this section, so we discuss about how do you make the statement of profit and loss, previously called income statement as well, and how do you make statement of financial position, how do you do the final year end of adjustments as well, students. So we can say that we have the topic of sole trader, that is 5.1. You must know how to make for an individual sole trader the income statement and the statement of financial position, now called statement of profit and loss, the income statement. You also have partnerships, okay, so you must know how do you make the current accounts, how do you make the capital accounts, how do you make the appropriation account. So all of this will be learned in the classes, okay. So it's partnership, and we can say that this is the second important topic, sole trader partnerships. Then we also have, after partnerships, we can say we have incomplete records as well, or companies first. So let's write it down, not a problem. We have incomplete records, where some information, the double entry is not complete or some information is missing, so we can have incomplete records as well. And furthermore, this 5.4 in this section is basically talks about the limited companies, okay. So we have limited companies as well, that we are going to talk about. How do you make the statement of changes in equity, what are reserves and shareholders equity, debentures. So limited companies we have, and we have manufacturing and non-profit organizations as well, okay. So then we have the manufacturing accounts as well. We should know how to make the manufacturing account, about the different types of inventories of raw materials, work in progress, finished goods. So manufacturing accounts are important. And the last topic in this section is that will be called 5.6, is basically clubs and societies, also called, so let's do it here as well, that we have clubs and societies in this section as well, which is also called non-profit organization, okay. So non-profit organization, how do you find the accumulated fund, the terminology is changed, that is surplus, deficit. How do you find the donation, subscriptions, and those subscription account you have to make in this. So income and expenditure account, receipts and payments account. Just an overview of section number 5, students, that you have to preparation of financial statements is about all 6 different chapters, okay, which you have to focus a lot and practice a lot for this. Then next is an easy part, in which we say analysis and interpretation, is all about the ratios chapter, okay, students. So section number 6 is all about ratios and the comparison theories and comparisons. What are the limitations? You must know there's a complete formula sheet of ratios, okay, although there is no formulas given in the exam paper, but we'll discuss in detail separate lecture on ratios, that what are the 8 to 9 different types of formulas as well. So section number 6 also have couple of topics, but in shortcut form, short summary, it's all about ratios. How do you interpret, how do you write the comparison, and how do you do the analysis part, comparison, analysis part. Do you know how to answer the ratios? How to write the comparison between them? Can you do the interpretation of ratios as well? What are the benefits, stakeholders, parties, okay, the interested parties. So who are the stakeholders in your ratios? Stakeholders, or you can say interested parties. So it's a lot about theoretical part as well. We can say section number 6 is numerics and both theory part as well, which can be tested, okay. And therefore with this we come to the last section, which is basically section number 7, in which we talk about in detail, sir, is about the accounting concepts, just like business entity, money measurement, historical. I'm just giving some examples. We have matching concept, we have business entity, consistency, going concern, prudence concept, realization concept, historic cost concept, materiality concept. So you must learn the definitions of them. They can ask you definitions on accounting concepts. Also they can ask the application, so there can be application as well, definitions and application of them using MCQ or the theory paper, okay. So definition or application both can come. That is very important to understand. We have accounting concepts as well as we have accounting policies, okay. Accounting concepts and accounting policies, which talks about the integrity, confidentiality, what are about the international accounting standards, and what are the objectives of accounting policies. So this is a very small segment, 1 or 2 marks only they can test, which talks about the relevance of the data, reliability of the financial information, whether the financial information can be comparable with the competitors. So whether you can compare the information with competitors, is it understandable, easy to comprehend? So that is what this section is. It's a very small section. So if you look, in this is in the summary, that we have 7 sections, paper 1 and 2 for O-level IGCSE accounting students. Most important is there's a lot of content to be covered, but this can be covered, and this is an overview video, so you can check whether any topics you haven't covered or have not covered. So make sure to cover that, because everything can be tested from section number 1 to 7. Hope everyone got it. Make sure we'll be discussing more about for the syllabus about O-level accounting. Follow and subscribe. Thank you. Have a great day.